Hi Scorpio, and welcome to your tarot video scope for seen by Ama. This recording will be for Scorpio Sun, Scorpio Rising, and Scorpio Moon. This month, my guides told me that you particularly need to pay attention to the video for your rising sign, and do check in with this video from time to time because some of the predictions coming up are going to apply to the next upcoming months. This is the beginning of the eclipse season. We are going to have an eclipse on, another one on 8, followed by a third one on 10. An eclipse is supposed to influence your life, is supposed to affect your life for the next 6 months. However, when I was doing your Vimeo videos, as I was doing each and every sign, it turns out that for some signs, actually, you are going to feel the influence for longer than 6 months. You will be influenced by this eclipse season for either months, 9 months, up to 12 months. So if you are interested to know how this eclipse season will be influencing the rest of your life for the next 2 months or for the next year, pretty much, click in the link down here below for download and purchase, and that's going to take you to the Vimeo videos. If you'd like to schedule a private consultation, please email me at amalightworker@gmail.com or visit the website amalightworker.com. Again, all of my contact information is listed down here below in the show more description box. Thank you so very much for liking, sharing, and subscribing. I truly appreciate that. When you subscribe, please remember to turn on the little bell, the little notification bell right here next to subscribe. This way, you will be notified each and every time that I upload special videos like this one, and each and every time that I do live streaming. And because it is such an important month, I will try to do more live streaming than usual for you. Usually I do live Akashic readings for you. Now, for this reading, allow me to concentrate. I did open 3 cards from the traditional tarot deck and 1 more from the Doreen Virtues tarot deck. The general feeling that I'm picking up for you, Scorpio, have to deal with a certain sense of success, but something left behind. Be careful of theft, loss of power, theft of ideas. You have to confront your own inner issues, inner emotions that have to deal with your feeling of being stuck, stagnation, feelings of depression, feelings of boredom. You have to confront either a situation or a person in order for you to put a stop to it so you can move forward with your goals, with your life. There's a certain sense of anything that to you didn't feel right. Maybe there's a certain sense of justice being reset, a certain sense of you being revitalized. Things are moving, things are shifting. There's a certain sense of going back to what gave you protection, what made you feel good, going back to old good habits, and the influence of important people in your life and important encounters with people with influence who are meant to help you. Now let's break it down one by one. The first card, and for some of you, of course, there's something around falling in love and love proposals. The first card is the 7 of Swords. To me, it means success, but something left behind. Careful of theft, careful of loss of loss of power, theft of ideas, a minor setback. Protect what is yours. Do not let anything or anyone let plans being taken away from you. Do not allow anything or anyone to take the plans away from you, and do not give up. So that's the meaning of the card. And I did get this card for other signs as well. Of course, the message for you is going to be different for each and every sign. I keep getting a sense that for some of you, there is a little bit of a sense of being sad, being irritated, being frustrated. This could be things that in some ways are malfunctioning, they are not running properly. It could be in a way Maybe he has to deal with emails, texting, cell phones, computers, electronic devices. There's a certain sense that assist not be responding properly, and you have to address this issue, and this be coming to you all of a sudden. The certain sense of you, and I did get a similar message for other signs as well. You are not the first sign that beware of any password, anything that you have with a password, your front door, keys, anything that you need to do to give yourself extra protection this year, whether it is passwords that you'll be having on different files on your computers, emails, texting, different accounts that you may have, and even your personal safety. Now, for some of you, that doesn't mean that anything bad is happening, but certainly the advice is there. Maybe you are meant to prevent something from happening this way. You have to be very careful with whom you share your ideas, with whom you share your thoughts, with whom you decide to confide, and you also have had experiences in the past when something that you confided in someone maybe turned into a gossip. They didn't keep your secrets. Maybe certain words backfired in a wrong way, and the intention was completely different. There is a certain sense that for some of you who have dealt with these situations in the past, now something could be making a comeback to repair. So if there were some misunderstandings and some gossips that needed clearing, or you needed healing from it, that situation may be making a comeback just so that justice and the righteousness can be re-established for some of you, not for all of you. I feel that some of you have to decide on something. You have to move away from something, someone, in order for you to find a new sense of freedom, for you to find your power again, to feel that you do have uh, a certain sense of willpower, confidence. For some of you, it simply means walking away from not necessarily a relationship. This could be walking away from a friendship, walking away from a business association, walking away from someone that in some ways gives you a bad vibe. So again, it's not coming up as walking away from a love partner or a spouse. For some of you, you just simply need to walk away from old ideas, old beliefs. How you feel about yourself, how you feel internally will be changing. But you need to make a little bit more of an effort. You need to use your willpower so you can internally, emotionally push yourself to move away from anything that is stagnating in your life. So if you are sad, you have to take a little bit action so you can make yourself happy again. If you don't feel optimistic, you have to really try internally to see everything with a positive perspective, because they're telling me a lot of good things are meant to happen, especially for those of you who had a series of misfortunes and struggles recently. But you don't only have to open your eyes, you also have to open your heart and uh, be more aware of energy, be more aware. You have to understand the opportunities headed your way and how these opportunities can be life changing. For some of you, it is about the sale of a car or a sale of the home, a certain sale of importance. You could be selling something big, something of high value, something of importance. You also end up purchasing a piece of property, a home, a car, a business, so something valuable. The next card that you have is the Knight of Swords. If the Knight of Swords represents a person, usually it represents an Aquarius, a Libra, or a Gemini. This could be the sun sign, the rising sign, or the moon sign, or it also represents you if you do have a rising sign or a moon sign in Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini. To me, it means confidence, capacity, vision, but also vicious. Time for battle has not arrived yet. You need more information. It means it represents a devil's advocate or an advocate for free speech. So that's the meaning of the card. Now let me figure out what guides have to say about this. I feel that for some of you, you need to be a little bit more aware of the blessings that particularly your angels around you are trying to give you. There will be a big shift happening. Internally, emotionally, you are going to be feeling too much, too deeply, or your feelings could rise up pretty quickly. They change frequently and pretty quickly. Whatever will happen, know that you are surrounded by your angels and benevolent forces that will guide you and will help you. And the obstacles that you run will turn out to be only temporary obstacles. But you have to be very well not to jump the gun. Be aware of too much spontaneity, like so be aware of your spontaneous decisions and spontaneous actions. It feels like for some of you, you just can't wait to either move out, you just can't wait for some sort of a brand new beginning, and they're telling me you need to be careful because there could be some details that you still need to have confirmation, or you still need to figure out some details that later on are going to end up being important to you. For some Scorpios, I keep getting a sense that is like suddenly you find yourself like falling for someone. You find yourself like gravitating towards another person, like in a very powerful way, like having a crush, having this strong magnetic kind of sexual attraction towards someone. And this is a general reading. I don't know exactly what will happen, but definitely the sense of you attracting someone in a very powerful way is there. I also see traveling. This could be like travels, plans for travel that maybe are coming up at the last moment. It could be like a spontaneous kind of traveling and trips, discovering new restaurants, discovering new places, making new acquaintances. For some of you, they're telling me that a business idea that you have been working on will now start to grow very rapidly. If you have been working on anything that involves learning and teaching, it will again grow and speed up very rapidly. So you suddenly increase your knowledge in a huge way. If you have students, the number of your students or your followers could be increasing rapidly. um, if you have a specific set of skills, because everybody has a certain skill, a certain talent, and an ability, expect this. Expect a dose of increase in your unique special talents, skills, and abilities. For some of you, this will happen partially, little by little, over the course of the next 4 months. There is a sense that you have, it's like you were waiting for certain opportunities to arrive, you were waiting for something to be granted to you, you were waiting for something or someone to give you the green light, and you just be tired of sitting around and waiting for the right moment, the right opportunity, the right circumstance. You may try, you, it feels like now you have more power, you feel more self-confident, and you are just going to try to do your best to gain control over the things that you are able to get control. You are going to use your willpower and determination to not only overcome your obstacles, but also in a sense of confronting your enemies. I don't know in what sense you are going to confront your enemies. This could be enemies from the past. This could be currently what's going on, or even avoiding, trying to prevent a situation where you know that that person in some ways is an enemy because they are just not good for you. You being around them is just not good for you. So anyone that in some ways gives you more pain, gives you more confusion, and it diminishes your life rather than enriches your life. You are going to be dealing with these people. You're going to be putting in some ways a stop to them and their actions. You are going to be standing up for yourself. However, the way you do it is going to be more important because you really have to avoid a big fight and a big confrontation. So careful how you go about it. The next card that you have is Four of Cups. To me, it means a certain sense of dissatisfaction, stagnation, being taken or taking things for granted, refuse to acknowledge the good, or sometimes it also means boredom. That's the meaning of the card. Now allow me to check in with guides and let me figure out what does it mean. Some of you Scorpios really need to talk to someone because you have been stressing, you have been worried, you have had so much anxiety. And it is time for some of you to understand that in some cases, some of you need to get some sort of a professional help because you really need to talk about what's going on internally. You may have been struggling with feelings of being sad, feelings of loss, feelings of grief, or even depression. Some of you could be resorting to holistic medicine, energetic healing to deal with your boredom, your depression, or to simply shift the energy around you. Other Scorpio resort to talking to a mentor, a teacher, a spiritual leader, a priest, a rabbi, again, like a spiritual leader, a doctor, a psychiatrist, a psychologist, a hypnotist, even so talking to someone who is an expert so you can get some help if you are struggling particularly with these feelings. If you thought that someone has been using you, or you don't feel valued and appreciated, maybe you feel undervalued, you feel taken for granted, I feel that that could start to change, but it's going to happen in different ways because for some of you, this may not be even a bigger, deeper issue with this person. The deeper issue with this person that makes you feel undervalued and underappreciated or taken for granted may have a root cause somewhere else. But part of this healing process, you standing up, taking charge, trying to shift internally how you feel, um, it has a lot to deal with this portion, this feeling that you have. Understand, just because you feel a certain way doesn't mean that this is exactly what is happening. Sometimes it is all about our perception and how much we decide to take things seriously. An opportunity will be coming to you out of nowhere. For some of you, this could be a job opportunity. It could be somebody offering not to take you for granted anymore, offering an explanation, offering an excuse, offering an I'm sorry, a sincere I'm sorry, offering some something that signifies peace. You know, let's make out, let's forget about it. It could also be like a job opportunity for some of you. Definitely, the opportunities for you to feel lucky again and to feel like luck is on your side are going to be there. You may not understand and see the signs right away, but please pay attention to the next 4 months because there's going to be a lot of shifting, changing, moving forward, and a certain sense of you being blessed, Scorpios. But it's just going to happen at different months for different Scorpios. However, the sense of luck shifting and changing for the better will be there. The next card that you have is the Knight of Water, and this will be you because it does represent a water sign, a Scorpio, Cancer, or a Pisces. Emotional, romantic, enthusiastic, contemplative, falling in love, or wedding proposals, the need to balance emotions, and an invitation to a social event. You could be in some ways getting in touch or hearing about people that you have been out of touch for the longest time. For some of you, this certain sense of reunion or hearing about people from the past is going to be very soothing for you. It's going to be loving but in surprising ways. And for other Scorpios, emotionally, it's just going to stir up all the emotions for you. And you could be surprised by what you are going to find out how you feel now after some years or after quite some time. There's a certain sense that either you could be getting ready to propose to someone or you be the one being proposed. And I also keep getting the sense that for some of you, you have other people around you advising you to be careful because um, maybe you just need more time together. Maybe they don't know how this happened. Maybe you are progressing a little bit too soon, too much. That's going to be the case for some of you, not for all of you. However, I do feel that some of you Scorpios are just going to proceed with this love proposal and this wedding, nevertheless. I keep getting the message as you read here, falling in love, but more so that falling in love with a person. They are drawing attention to of you Scorpios, feeling that you are falling in love with life again. There's laughter again in your life. There's fun again in your life. If you had issues with your body, you could be falling in love with your body again. It is a certain sense of you loving yourself in a different way and understand all of us are merely human beings, are just human beings. So there are times when we tend to be self-critical. There are times when we tend to be very demanding toward ourselves and self-critical. And for some of you, there is a sense of all of that now shifting. There's a sense of you recognizing your desire to give, your desire to love, receiving recognition, receiving gratitude coming to you from other people, receiving compliments. Some of you also end up receiving big awards, words of recognition. Even I keep getting a bonus for some of you, and it all goes back to you having fun, loving your life again, loving yourself in a different, healthier way. For some of you, it could also still be about physical changes, physical appearances, and this change be external for some of you, but it's going to be the beginning of a lot of things shifting, changes. So not all of these changes are going to be internal for you, Scorpio. Some of you could be doing some physical changes to your body, maybe a new wardrobe, new hair, a style. I don't know, but these are also coming out because sometimes it is the tiny little things that make you happy, even if it is a new hairstyle or a new hair color. So anything that makes you happy, do those things. It doesn't matter how small or big they have to be, and you don't even have to spend money. You know, sometimes it is all about a romantic walk at the seaside, or like a trip like sharing a meal with your loved ones. It is about the tiny little things that have the most power. Let me see anything else. Expect an increase. Oh, if you are dealing with a matter of immigration or anything related to an immigration situation, there's going to be either like some quick developments or There's going to be a situation where you need to act quickly, so you can grab that opportunity being offered to you. For some of you, if you are dealing with anything legal, suddenly now you could be getting more information or news from a court, a lawyer, or a judge. So some sort of a rapid news information or action headed your way. And many of you, I keep getting that you are going to celebrate new beginnings over the hard time of the next 6 months. I hope that this made sense to you. Please leave me a comment down here below. Email me for a private reading, amalightworker@gmail.com, or visit the website, amalightworker.com. I wish you the very best. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and stay tuned because I will be doing a live streaming for you this month as well. Let's hope this eclipse season is going to bring to all of us good luck, because I am also a Scorpio rising, and I will connect with you again in the next videos. Bye.